Dragon Age Inquisition's newly announced multiplayer looked an awful lot like Mass Effect 3's multiplayer to me. So F it, I'm gonna go back and take a look. Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. It was a thing that people got to the end of the story campaign and went, huh, what's this readiness rating and what's it doing to my single player Galaxy at War thingy? Well, that, my friend, was Mass Effect 3's multiplayer. If you blink, you may have missed it, but it greatly expanded on single player's combat systems and proved that Mass Effect gameplay could stand independent of a Commander Shepard storyline. Here are 5 things Mass Effect 4 can learn from what Mass Effect 3 multiplayer did really well. Number 1. Multiple playable protagonists. There are many ways to tell a story, some of it through dialogue and exposition, some of it through character and world design. Mass Effect 3's multiplayer leaned heavily on the latter, and it did it in ways that reinforced your connection with characters and races from single player. This was a logical continuation of the story campaign, which already featured side characters who were heroes from their own epics. In multiplayer, you could look at, say, a Krogan and know exactly what you're going to get: a charging, cynical tank beast. More subtly, you could look at how, say, a Quarian marksman, who's normally an effective soldier, was extra bananas when it came to the Geth, the Quarians' mortal enemy. Likewise, heavy and light melee attacks were all factors of race and class. A Batarian wound up all day long to land that home run punch, while a Geth juggernaut sucked the energy out of foes. This all indicates that Mass Effect 4 could greatly benefit from multiple playable protagonists. Number 2. Dynamic multiplayer maps. Combat happens rain or shine. Oh wait, it doesn't in many multiplayer games. Okay, Gears of War, Spec Ops: The Line, and The Last of Us have all flirted with the concept, but no one's really nailed it yet. In the glimpse we caught of Mass Effect 4 development at E3 2014, we saw some levels rendered with what appears to be changing environments. So I'd challenge Mass Effect 4 to take it a step further by ensuring gear, powers, and situational awareness are all affected by those changes. Mass Effect 3 multiplayer's rain and sandstorms made levels not only more replayable, but feel more grounded in the universe. Number 3. Co-op squad powers that work together. There's nothing quite like setting up an enemy for a squad mate to biotically detonate. Mass Effect 3's multiplayer classes worked well together, complemented one another, and rewarded players for directing abilities at the same target. The Quarian marksman's tactical scan ability could mark a target for teammates in a game that didn't normally have a spotting mechanic, then debuff the enemy's speed and increase damage taken to that target. Another example would be popping an enemy off the ground with Shockwave and watching a team throw them off the map. These types of power combos are a lot more fun than just, say, outputting more damage with the marksman ability, and they get individual players working together in positive ways. So Mass Effect 4 should definitely build on this complementary power system. Number 4. Rotating objectives. Killzone did it, and I don't know why everyone isn't doing it. Many multiplayer shooters have playlists, but few have playlists that rotate multiple times within a round. Killing high-value targets, hijacking terminals, escorting robots, it's variety that keeps the game exciting, and we'd like to see more of that in Mass Effect 4. And finally, number 5, seamless co-op. Mass Effect 3 started with a good idea: use multiplayer co-op to help take and hold territory that can affect the outcome of the single-player campaign. The formula never quite worked, largely due to the co-op being a separate and independent mode. What Mass Effect 4 should do is strive to put players together as often as possible. Seamless co-op campaign, populating hubs like the Citadel, maybe PvP bounties. The more human-controlled characters in a world, the more that world comes to life. Games like Destiny are already doing a great job at this concept. Whether Mass Effect 4 ends up as an expanded co-op encounter or an online multiplayer shooter, player interaction is where it's at. Well, that's it for our top 5 list. Did you spend any time in Mass Effect 3's multiplayer getting your whips on? Some people in our office never even touched it. Did you go fill out BioWare's survey on what you want the next Mass Effect to be? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and hey, fire up the old Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. You might find yourself shoulder to shoulder with a smelly Batarian and loving it.